Afternoon everybody, just thought I'd come and do a little video of the KTM 790 Duke. Had it now 4 months, done 1700 miles, made a few mods to it, so thought would come out, do a little video of it. Come to the nice setting of Saucy Forest in Northamptonshire, one of the car parks, and take you around the bike and go through it and give you some of my thoughts for the first 4 months of ownership. So here she is, 2019 KTM 790 Duke. Got her on the 1st of May from Jim A Motorcycles in Braintree. Can't recommend them highly enough. Go and see Alistair and the boys down there. They'll sort you out. Good deal on bikes, clothing, servicing. Big off-road KTM dealer. So a few of the mods that I've made in the 4 months that I've owned it. Pipeworks end can, kept the cat at the moment. We've put a KTM belly pan on there, that's one of the power parts. Got some power bronze handguards. Also fitted the KTM touring windshield just to give a bit of protection when on dual carriageways, motorways, etc. at high speeds. Makes a big difference actually. Well worth the money. What else have we done? I've got the power parts, tank protection kit on there. Put a USB charging cable on that I've had in the garage for some time. You also see just above that is my ultimate add-ons bracket for mobile phone, and a Jivvy tank ring to take my Jivvy tank bag. It is a metal tank, so it will take a magnetic tank bag, but it is a funny shape. Things I haven't done yet and contemplating not doing is a tail tidy. Whilst it will tidy up the back end, one of the main problems you get from this bike is throwing up of muck and water, etc. when you're out on wet roads, and you do get covered in it, so I have left that on for now to give some added protection. One thing I have got to protect the indicators from melting because of the exhaust gases. You see that on the indicator. That metal cover, that's from an R&G tail tidy. Just had to trim it to fit on the standard, but that's just gives some added protection. Stops the back of the indicator melting. With regard to these parts, KTM parts are not overly expensive. Quite a few offers online from various KTM dealers. Triple D Motorsport, one of them, often offer 10% discount on parts ordered. So my thoughts on the bike. It's great. It's like a BMX with an engine. I think a few other people have referred to it as that. That little 79cc parallel twin that sits in there is really punchy, really torquey, great fun. Got a great top end to it. I quite like the bug-eyed looks, and I know everybody does. and the quality of the electronics that's fitted to this bike. For a bike that's This cost me 8,300. You got that TFT dash with a full range of electronics, 4 riding modes: rain, street, sport and track. Track you can configure the settings so you can have different throttle response. You can have rain, road or sport throttle response in track mode, and in track you can alter the traction control settings. You can turn anti-wheelie off. You can engage what they call supermoto mode, so it turns off the ABS at the back wheel, and you've got launch control on it. Had a go with launch control. It's great fun. Just pin the throttle. I think it holds the revs at about 9,000, and then don't dump the clutch, but you just let the clutch out without releasing the throttle, and it controls it and blasts you off the line. Brake wise, bike is built to a budget, so caliper wise, our KTM brakes, they're relatively powerful. You do need 3 or 4 fingers on the levers to make rapid decrease in speed, but they're progressive enough. Tyres, lots of thoughts about the tyres that come as standard on these from different people. They are a specially developed Maxxis tyre, relatively soft compound, doesn't seem to last a great deal of time. I've got no complaints with them. They've given a feedback, they feel good. I will replace them with some more expensive rubber when they need replacing, probably something from Pirelli or Metzeler, as I do like those brands, all part of the same company. Suspension wise, again, budget in terms of it's non-adjustable on the front. I think you can adjust the preload on the back, but it's set as a great compromise for road conditions in the UK. Track, I can imagine you need to stiffen it up quite considerably, so you need to look at replacing that, but I know KTM do fork cartridge kits and different rear shocks for it. One of the awkward things on this bike is the adjustment of the chain. Because of the size of the boxy swing arm, it's very difficult to lube it, because you're trying to get a nozzle under it, and you have to do the adjustment way up the chain, way up the swing arm, and it's not the easiest bike to adjust to check the tension of the chain. I have checked it, hasn't stretched at all in the 1700 miles, which is what I would expect. Oh, another feature of the bike is the up and down quick shifter. Pretty smooth. Make sure you've got a few thousand revs at least on the clock before shifting, but it is pretty smooth. The only time it's a bit clunky is 6 down to 5th. You get a feeling of it wants to surge as you knock it down from 6 to 5th, but every other gear it's pretty good. 1st to 2nd's really good, which I know on a lot of bikes is not the greatest gears to use the quick shifter on. Overall fit and finish, yeah, I'm pleased with it. So it's just over an 8 grand bike. Touch wood, no issues with it as yet. I know other people on forums etc have experienced some issues with expansion tanks leaking and problems with cracking screens on TFTs. I don't know if that was the early 2018 first models out, but so far no issues with this one. And there you have it. I won't do a sound clip of the Pipeworks can. There is one already up on YouTube for that if you want to see that. I like the sound of it. Relatively inexpensive can. But there she is, KTM 790 Duke. If you're in the market for a medium, middleweight, naked bike along the lines of MT-09 and Triumph Street Triple, then give the KTM a crack. One thing that I would say I hope they sort out with software updates is the snatchy throttle. It's very on off, and at low speed riding through towns etc it becomes tiresome, and you do end up trying to knock it back into rain mode to try and alleviate its on-off nature. It's just the way the bike's set up, I think, with meeting Euro 4 emission regulations. But it's not a smooth transition from being on the throttle to off it and then back on again. Can make the bike very lurchy, and do find yourself feathering the clutch quite a bit. But that's a minor gripe aside. So there you have it, that's my review of the KTM 790 Duke. Hope you like it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, like, share, etc. and look forward to having you along for the ride. Until the next time, safe riding and ciao. Thanks, bye.